Lesson 14. In Crimson Silk. J.B. Priestley. Introduction. J.B. Priestley has many novels and plays to his credit. Besides volumes of essays, he has tried his hand in the field of criticism and autobiographies too. Through the BBC, he has made many talks on various subjects. His mastery over the opulence of the English language becomes evident in this skit. Contents. It is an essay on his purchase of fine, crimson silk pajamas. He takes his readers into confidence and says that such a fine crimson piece is not meant for seedy-looking persons like him, nor could he afford to buy one on such piece. But yet, he says, he bought it in a romantic moment. He then proceeds to describe the event. It was a dull day. He felt fed up by the mechanical life. So he stirred out. As he was aimlessly walking through the street, his eyes embarked upon a treasure. He could not restrain his temptation. The diffused evening light added to its rich colorfulness. It appeared to him that the manufacturer of the garment also wanted to conspire against him. And his moment of frailty too set in favorably. The shopman understood his mind and immediately packed it without waiting for confirmation. Priestley walked out with a sense of elation. His heart was fluttering in happiness. When he wore it, he felt like a different person. He, for some time, was admiring his own magnificence and felt boasted up. His stretched arms looked like something superimposed upon him. He suddenly felt like a wicked, luxurious fellow, amidst a huddle of Circassian beauties and Nubian slaves around him. To put it in a passionate language, he looked like King Cambyses, the wicked Persian king. He felt he was handing love with the notorious Borgias, the children of Pope Alexander VI. He became arrogant and felt like whipping the poor mercilessly, with an air of authority and cruelty. He thought of himself as a demigod. This sense of revulsion vanished once he discarded his crimson silk pajamas. He then becomes just a timid and respectable citizen to his family and friends. Once an enormous and expensive cigar is given, he again assumes air and poses as a different person. He feels rich, powerful, and reads a grim at the poor, virtuous fools of this world. Amidst the neat and trimly dressed, he will turn out to be an ardent philosopher, full of wise saws and modern instances. Sometimes, like Thomas Carlyle, he will try to preach and expose their follies, even though they are affluent persons. With a Turkish cigarette in his hand, he will behave so quixotically that the ladies beside him will think of him as a clever trifler with heartless flow of epigrams. To perfect that, he says, he must have a well-creased trousers. Since he has none, he admits he does not want to play that role. All these tendencies will disappear when he sheds off his wonder-working new crimson silk garment. He will be a very normal and with a heart brain and purpose. So, the combination of the crimson pajamas with a cigar or a pipe cigarette is capable of such a potential miracle like spark in him. This makes him think of the constantly dissembling people. The dissembling people seem to him to be a supremely self-confident people. So he wonders how not even a single occasion has thrown a moment of self-realization on them. He ardently believes that such people will ever continue to masquerade. They will delight in enacting innumerable roles in a few odd minutes. This forces Priestley into the conclusion that they, perhaps, may be wearing their crimson silk day and night. Summary: the author aimlessly loiters in the street on a dull and mechanical day in order to kill boredom. His eyes happen to fall on a rich crimson silk pajama, and he could not resist the temptation of buying it, though he really had no need for them. On wearing the pajama, he finds that he almost becomes a devil in his attitude. He feels very rich, elated, and considers all around him to be humble and poor slaves waiting for his kingly orders. The same happens to him when he was gifted an expensive Turkish cigar. When he throws the cigar away and removes his crimson pajama, he becomes quite a dutiful and respectful citizen of his country. This incident sets Priestley to think of the countless people who wear rich garments and carry rich utilities around them and feel elated and proud of themselves. Priestley concludes the essay wondering how these people lead their life without any self-realization. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and share.